Here we are again. So good to see you. We were just looking out at the trees, at this grandmother tree that sits outside of Sharon's house, hearing her voice and realizing how many avenues of communication and hearing and sharing there are beyond the physical. Sananda here, and as usual, I've had to kind of keep that worrisome Sharon at bay that says, well, what are you going to say? You know what you're going to say? Are you sure you know what you're going to say? So let me just take a deep breath. Oh, yes, yes. There is always, always much to share, but what's most important for us is for you to know we love you, for you to know that we know you, for you to know you are not alone. You are a candle of light. You are a dot of light. You are an ambassador from a divine family who is more prepared and realigned and restored than ever before to stand with you. And you are the one designing, directing, vetting, discerning as we go along. We were thinking this morning about when we first made conscious contact, Sharon and I, which was in 1971. And she had only one directive that wasn't for her, it was for her husband, of how do you hear the voice of God so that you can direct your life and your family correctly. So the directive was very simple. You prepare a quiet place where no one's going to burst in and wonder what you're up to. So you have a quiet place, and you get yourself into an alignment of what you would call stillness. Back then it was read scriptures. Get yourself out of earth mind, get yourself into quiet, letting go of the worry. And then you kneel down and you pray. And you say basically, God, this is what's going on in my life. And you just lay it all out so that it's out of the way. And then when it's out of the way, you have one question and one question only that you then put on the table. Once you've spoken your question, then you listen for the answer, and the answer will be God speaking to you. Our Sharon is pretty curious, so she did it. Kids at school, husband at work, some were down for a nap, and she tried it on because she was curious, but she was careful to ask only a question that was her responsibility, which is motherhood. She didn't vet or declare the qualities that she required of anyone who answered her. She just decided God was enough. She didn't know more than that. But she did have one criteria that she had, and that was, if it makes my heart light, then I'll know it's the truth. And that was from her religious background. If it makes my heart light, then I know it's God speaking to me. That was her discernment point. 1971. How many years ago was that? And we started our communication. And one question was answered. And then another question was answered. And pretty soon questions were answered, one after another, and opened up doors that now become the tag system, putting our answers not just for herself, then how do I put it out there for others? And a lot of you are in that same place. You're not going to get answers that are just for you. Some things will be just for you. Be aware of that. Not all answers you get at your consciousness level will be to give to others. It will be for you. Others will get there and they'll get that same answer, but they'll get it directly, that sun path. But you also are wanting to lift the heart of others in some fashion. We know that of you. So we're here. And we have been listening to you, and we have been hearing you, and we hope that the answers that you have been getting from our group, which includes your group, have lifted your heart. In the process, there's always been that awareness. Speaking of my conversations with Sharon, that awareness that others of the unseen worlds also came to her, as there are those who will come to you. And her question was always turning to me and say, have these beings been checked out? Do you know them? Are they in alignment to the mission we have, to the qualities set down? You're all on that path. We know that. And as I look out at the grandmother tree and want you to realize that there are communication streams available to you, maybe beyond what you've thought about. The consciousness within trees, they reach and extend and breathe way beyond themselves. The consciousness within stones hold steady and vibrate way beyond themselves. We've used the electrical wires many times. That which others, they don't live under them. We've used them to broadcast through them codes and information and networking. How often do you go down into the roots within Mother Earth, not just of the trees and the plants, but the sisters, and broadcast within those roots your message, your invitation, your questions? There is energy streams waking up into that unification, into that clarity, that is who we all are, you will understand that when I speak of myself as Sananda, I am a we, as are you a we. I live in worlds where we exist more in that collective group mind because I'm a little bit above Earth, that Earth is more individualized purposefully for fulfilling that quick action of removing parasitics. But it doesn't exclude your we-ness. This is a time of letting go for sure. Letting go in various forms and various people in different ways. It comes around more powerfully at times. I mean, it kind of goes through humanity of letting go. If you feel like you're stuck and don't have sparky vision right now, go within and ask us. We can help you know where your rhythm is. We can help you know that's okay. Just be in that place for now. I use one of Sharon's experiences of when her daughter Carolyn was in a coma, and her daughter in her car accident came to her mother and said, "Do not let go of my body. Do not let go of my body." As soon as the plane landed, got to the hospital, within a day, the brain surgeon was saying, "We've pulled the plug. There's no hope here." But Carolyn's words said, "Don't let go of my body." And so they didn't let go of her body. What could happen for Carolyn at a soul level in the body happened in coma state, in the comatose state. There were things that she learned. There were corrections that were made because she was in the body, and she had a team working with her telepathically with imagination. Powerful work was done in that space of quietude, even coma. So if you're feeling that time of quietude, you can always ask us, ask your particular touch point. Is this a problem for me? Or is it appropriate? Because you're not alone. And you're part of something huge, and you're not doing the huge alone. You're doing your part, whatever that is. And sometimes it's planting a seed by speaking the word in the moment. And sometimes it's putting together a book or a new program or sitting quietly in meditation. You are in old models, breaking them down, holding vision for new, not even knowing what that looks like, not even knowing how to get there. Kudos, kudos, our hats off to you. You are the vision holders, change makers. And I know at times it might be scary because you don't know what it looks like and you don't know how to get there, but this is gone. In your world, it's gone. We're finished with that. Done. This is what we're holding. Just keep holding it. Just keep holding it. How do you right now? I know you're in this quandary, many of you, of how do we build community? How do we build community new? How do we be a different kind of community? How do we have each other's back? How do we grow and expand and help each other and encourage each other? How do we have enough energy and vitality to sometimes get through the day even? I dare say you need us more than you've ever needed us before, because you are blazing the trails. And what you've known up until now has gotten you to where you are now, but you may be getting to the end of or the edge of what you have known. So we are holding it with you and for you. Raphael wants to say something. I'm like Sharon. Raphael, what do you want to say? Are you sure? Do you know what you want to say? I'm kind of doing that worrisome thing, I guess. So. What I know and what I feel for all of you, and it isn't my feeling, it is the feeling from the galactics. Is this almost overwhelming sense of love for you. The willingness, even the interest, and even the excitement, the smiling excitement that comes, we think of Arlie, with new. So exciting to get an idea, apply it, and like, it worked. Start asking for signs. Start asking us for signs. Let us infuse you. We can do that more than we've ever done it before. We want this to be exciting to you, joyful to you, unifying to you. There has been so much work done on the planet through the law of the planet, the law of authority, to free us in the galactic worlds. We want you to know that we could not be free without the work that's been done here on this planet. We would not be free. We would still be entrapped. So we are excited and anxious and wanting to be with you as a pay it forward, if you will. Pay it forward. What is that going to look like? You decide. That's the value of these ideas, the manna from heaven coming. An idea gets broadcast, even just within this group, this idea gets broadcast, and every one of you will take that idea and will form it uniquely. You do not have to copyright your idea. You do not have to trademark your idea. You do not have to put an intelligent, what's that called? This is my intelligent creation, so you can't use it. The ideas are everywhere. And every one of them will be brought into a form of benefit uniquely. Uniquely. There will be so many dots of light that miracles will happen always. Ask for your signs. Ask for your signs and see what can happen. It's like giving us permission to do what we want to do. We cannot do what you do not ask for, because that is an invasion. We can give you ideas, we can give you hints, but if you don't grab hold and create with it, form from it, we have to stand back, hands off. This is your life. And yes, you're absolutely an ambassador from us. But we cannot dictate to you. That's what's gotten us in trouble before, those who dictate. And we will not. We will not. But we love you. The ripple so needs to be expanded. So expand that ripple in your life. There we do not have to have hundreds in our circle as we talk. We do not need that. All we need is to speak in any place and say, you do yours. Now you do yours. Now you do yours. But we do need that ripple to keep moving. Use the trees, use the water, use the air, use the clouds, use the stones. Any place, partner. And let's get this unification of restoration, unification of divine family, breathing as the breath in which we live. So that's what we wanted to say to you from the galactic area. Gaia wants just to speak as we conclude. I'm more directly aware of the physical emotions that are happening on my home. And I'm sad. And it's not that Raphael and Sananda and those beings from those other worlds are not aware. They are. Changing what is happening on my home requires the vibrational change, the new creations that they speak of. It requires that, because that foundational change in the unseen, the healing of the unseen, is what can dissolve structures, open new doors here on my planet, in my home. But I want to encourage you also to consider partnering with me as a mother, as a woman, that female mission. What can we do? Not just to remove the agendas of outsiders, you are doing so well with that, but what can we do to hold our children, to hold our men who are having to use violence against violence? What can we do? To change that. More change has happened through nonviolence ever happened through violence. So not only nonviolence, but softening of the pain that is spreading like clouds, the grief that is spreading like clouds, the violence and the rape and the torture spreading like clouds. How can we dissipate that so that it becomes love, so that it becomes community, compassion, unification, and not fear? So there's a lot of ideas to choose from. a lot of possibilities. And they're not all for you to do, really, really. Maybe there is a system, a rhythm you could put in place that I'm going to X outsiders, and then I'm going to love pain back to wholeness, and then I'm going to take a walk for myself. Get some system that's not overwhelming, that lifts your heart, that you know you're a part of it and you're flowing in your part. There's many pieces. And you will know what it is and when it is and how often. You are loved. I know you've heard that. I hope you feel it. You are loved. And if you are loved, your children are loved. And if your children are loved, your neighbor's children are loved. And if your neighbor's children are loved, the children in war zones are loved. And if your sisters have your back, you have the back of your sisters. And if you have the back of your sisters and the sisters have the back of their families, our men's hearts open to feel this world differently in protected energy availability. We are all one in this. And those who have invaded to disrupt and cause disharmony, we know enough. Complete, gone. They are one in their world, but not ours. They are one with their source, not in this agenda of love and benefit and divine families. So, thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. We're going to be watching what you do, and we're going to be listening for you. And you're blessed. And are blessing others. We know that. Much love.